All right, real quick. Bidenomics, is this in action? Despite some good economic data being announced recently, Americans are still struggling with inflation, particularly at the grocery store. As a new piece in the Wall Street Journal points out today, the last time that Americans spent this much on food, at least as a percentage of disposable income, George H.W. Bush was in the Oval Office. Terminator 2 was in the theaters. Consumers are spending more on their income on their food than they have in over 30 years. Kevin, you've got as broad of a view over this as probably anyone. Where are we right now in the economy, and where do you think it's going to be, let's just say, since this is a politics show, later this summer when we're starting to really think about a presidential election?
There'll be no relief from the Fed this summer. I don't even think we'll get rate cuts at all this year.
Okay.
If you look at the...
No rate cuts this year.
I don't think so. Everybody has an opinion on this, but I'm preparing our portfolios for no rate cuts. Terminal rate now is 5.5%, and I've assumed the cost of our capital will be 200 basis points over that minimum, and it's not going to change. And the reason is the stubbornness of these core inflationary elements to how this is calculated. Food is a killer for any incumbent. Doesn't matter what party you're in. When food inflates and you're in an election cycle, this is the enemy of the incumbent, because every day people deal with this, every single day, to the morning they get up and pour the Cheerios in the bowl to go vote. They know they're paying 30% more than it was only 36 months ago. This is a killer.
So
it's tough.
I always say on the show, when Chris agrees with me, I feel smart. So tell me if you agree with me or if I'm wrong. I'm setting myself up here. I've been saying I think Jay Powell, the chairman of the Fed, is one of the most important people this election cycle. Right or wrong?
I think he is, but he is not going to
No? Ooh, you're shaking your head at me.
Well, no, he can finish this, but it's not going to matter because food is still not going to go down by the time that people are ready to vote.
Finish your thought, Kevin.
So that's why I don't agree with you on that. But.
Look, I don't think he cares about politics. I really don't. I think he's been one of the greatest Fed chairmen ever because he's really keeping his eye on the ball on inflation. He's brought it down 2/3, but his mandate's 2%, and we're still over 3%. So he is not going to stop or cut rates until he gets there.
That'd be bad news for your guy.
Yeah, look, economy's about how people feel, and if they're paying more at the checkout line when they buy their milk, they're going to be upset about it. And it's something that he's got to get his arm around. I'm not going to mince words. First of all, I'm not going to argue the economy with him. I'll argue other things with you, but not the economy. but it is a problem politically for anybody who's an incumbent going into election year. I've seen the signs, and I'm sure Chris will agree. Some of the indicators show that people are starting to feel better about the economy, but they're not quite there yet where Biden wants them to be.
July 1 is the date that we care about because voter attitudes, all the literature is very clear. Voter attitudes harden in the second quarter of the election year. They come to a conclusion about how do they feel. And you're right that there are positive indicators in consumer confidence and in other places. But those are, do you remember during the Obama years, we used to talk about green shoots?
Yep.
And in the 2010, we said, oh, the green shoots of the economy. And then the lawnmower would come and cut those green shoots right down. So basically for Biden, if consumer sentiment, voter attitudes about the economy are in positive territory on July 1, that's a buy. That's go long on Biden. Even if his approval numbers haven't caught up by then, if they're negative, that's a sell.
Last word.
I have a question for the panel because I don't understand why this didn't happen. It's a political question. If Biden's going after the independent voter, why wouldn't he swap out his vice president now if you have longevity issues? The independents worried about his age? Swap out Harris because she's so immensely unpopular with both sides. Get a new VP and say, look, don't worry about my age. Don't worry about my cognitive skills because you've got a backup here that you like if you're an independent.
Who is that?
Well, isn't there one? Can't they find one?
So the famous Abraham Lincoln quote, they tell me that I should get anybody to replace my general, but what I need is somebody. Right. And there isn't a somebody that he could swap in. And also the fact that she is the first ever woman of color to be vice president. There's a
you can find another woman of color that people like.
Who? Well, I mean, I could make a
Mr. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Nobody votes for vice president.
I know, but in this case, you're worried about who
I agree.
president.
Yeah.
I don't.
You agree with who, Ashley? You agree with who?
I agree with him that in this case, this may have.
In the same way that Sarah Palin was so damaging to John McCain because of John McCain's age, this is a serious problem for Biden, and it would have been better if he wouldn't have run, and they could have had an open contest, and it would have been better if he could have found a way to get rid of her without having a stink. But
I'm a numbers guy. I've never seen a VP poll as this low before an election ever.
Well, it's hard to define yourself when you're sitting in the VP chair, right? So when you're the VP, you got to go out with the big scissors and cut whatever ribbon they want you to cut. And she hasn't had the opportunity.
Why is she so unpopular?
I thought she was a fantastic senator, and I thought she would have been a better presidential candidate than she was.
Why was she a fantastic
Oh my God! Did you
senator?
see the way she would tear people apart in the Judiciary Committee? She's fantastic.
Not since Dan Quayle.
Thank you for watching, and make sure you go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.